What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast, a video game show. I'm one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno to you as well. How are you this fine evening?
I suppose it's more like buona notte.
Buona notte, indeed.
Because it's very nighttime outside.
It is. I am desperately waiting.
We need to spring forward.
Yes.
We got to get that sunlight back.
I need it so bad.
Me too.
Because, yeah, it sucks. It's been a long time since I've had to
leave and work and having it be night.
And it just be night.
Yeah.
And you get home and it's like, well, I guess I should just get in my PJs.
It's like,
because,
I guess it's
just
bedtime.
go to sleep because it's time to go to bed. So yeah, I'm really ready for it to still be complete daylight outside at this time of day. It's what is it, 7:40? Yeah, I'm ready for it to still be light outside.
After having lived in Austin for so long, I really don't know that I could go back to living on the other far side of a time zone because we get so much extra light.
We do.
Like going
that's
to
true. Like the east and west coast and stuff like that.
We get more than everybody else because like my family in Tennessee, they're still on Central Time, but I go there and it's like, oh my God, it's so dark. Why is it so dark so soon?
Well, it's funny too. Even like going to our parents in Lubbock and Oklahoma City and stuff like that is, it usually gets a little bit Is the opposite? It might be the opposite. It stays like brighter
Lubbock,
there.
I would imagine they get more.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a weird thing. Sam's like called her parents and stuff like that on FaceTime, and it's looked like full bright day. We're dark. It's like, oh man, crazy. But completely unrelated. But did not appreciate the heat today. It was too hot. And
I was inside.
I was too, but I was still hot. But that's neither here nor there. We are here to talk about video games, the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything in between.
Today's a hater episode.
Uh-oh. Little sneak preview.
It's a hater episode.
But you can listen to us do that every week on podcast services around the World Wide Web, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and many others as well. We have a full list over on our website or in the description below. You can also watch a video version of each episode over on our YouTube channel. Links for all that are in the description below as well, where you'll also find our social media, Discord links, and as well as a link to our merch store to get some cool hats, t-shirts, mugs, maybe some cool little stuff like that. But you can also find a link to our Patreon page where you can go for as little as $1 a month and support the show, just like Allison H, Fuchsia, Ark, Brandon W, Bro Mogan, Ace Jokai, Erica L, Michael B, Michael S, Snooty Boots, Susan M, and Zach S. And when you go to patreon.com and support the show for as little as $1 a month, in return, we'll give you cool perks like getting the episodes early before their general public release, and you'll also get access to a private channel on our Discord server, the Rogues Gallery, as well as a patron-exclusive show, Team Chit Chat, which is like our pre-recording show or just, whatever we want to talk about before we go live on the episodes and stuff like that. So just a little bit more behind-the-scenes goodness. So all of that is available to our patrons, but if you cannot support the show or whatever, or just, come here for the vibes and that's it, that's totally fine too. You can help spread the good word of Team Chat Podcast out to the masses for free, such as telling your friends, writing us reviews, or subscribing wherever you're listening to or watching the show. But with that, we're glad you're here. We appreciate and love every single one. I caught her slacking this time. We appreciate and love each and every one of our viewers, listeners, and patrons alike. Heart
emoji. XOXO smooches.
All right. Well, before we get on to the hating of the day, the main topic of the day.
We actually have a lot of news to get through.
We do have a lot of news to get through because today just so happened to be the Sony State of Play.
Yes.
I was at work, though, and did not get a chance to watch it and have not had a chance to quite catch up on it fully. But, we'll go. I've seen some of the announcements. I've heard some of the hubbub from it. So we'll do a quick little recap of that. But before we do that, we'll get our reviews of news of what's coming out soon.
Let's run through what's out now and coming very soon. So as of this episode's air date, all of the following have already come out. We have Blaze Blue Entropy Effect X for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. We have Dear Me, I Was... That's coming to Switch. That is out for Switch, PC, iOS, and Android. This was from the announcement just today, so this is hot off the presses. We have God of War, Sons of Sparta.
Oh, wait. What's this?
This was a shadow drop. So we have
Oh.
God of War Sons of Sparta that is out exclusively for PlayStation 5. It is a very sleek, like really beautifully, like smooth, such a smoothly well done side-scrolling pixel art.
What?
God of War prequel. It's basically,
No
I
shit.
think that it's about Kratos.
Ghost of Sparta?
When
No.
he was Sons of Sparta. Yeah, God of War Sons of Sparta.
Sons
Ghost of Sparta.
Sons of
You're just
Sparta.
obsessed with the Ghost of Yote.
No,
No, not Ghost of Sparta. Sons of Sparta.
Isn't that what I put?
That is what you put, but that's not what came
Oh.
out first in the SERP.
That's weird.
So they haven't gotten
Oh,
quite the
okay.
news
Here we go.
yet.
Here we go.
Yeah, Sons of Sparta fit spin-off now available.
Official launch trailer. Okay.
Yeah, take a look at this real
we
quick.
gotta watch
Feast your
this real quick.
eyes.
Sorry, everybody.
Anyone.
All right, here we go. Shut up, everybody. Shut up.
Never shut up.
Before I was a father,
That's TC Carson.
Hell yeah.
So this was what he was promoting when he came on.
I was a god.
Oh, this is the.
I was a Spartan.
Oh
Look
my
at
god.
how smooth it is.
Oh,
That pixel frame rate.
that is great.
Man, it's sick.
Oh my god. Well, I know what I'm doing after we're done here.
It's almost like Blasphemous meets God of War,
Yeah.
right?
And that's cool. I did play the original God of War trilogy as well, and some of the PSP games and stuff. And so it's cool to get more of Kratos and Deimos and stuff like that. Like that Deimos and their relationship / Deimos' death and stuff like that is a huge part of.
That was his wife, right?
No, Deimos is his brother.
His brother.
And stuff like that. And that's a big part of the original games too and stuff like that. So this is awesome to get another
More.
look at that in such a different and unique style
Yeah,
for God
look
of
at it.
War.
Big
Holy
snake.
shit.
Looks pretty sick.
That is great. Yeah, I'm going to be playing that immediately.
Well, it's out right now. So if you're hearing this game is
Great.
already available for PlayStation 5. I do believe it's a PS5 exclusive right now. Unclear if it will eventually come to other platforms.
That is awesome.
Very cool, right?
That's incredible. Well, woohoo!
Woohoo!
Nothing else to say about that.
So, real quick, we will just go ahead and say that at the same time that they released Sons of Sparta today, they were also promoting the God of War original trilogy remake.
Hell yes.
So that is coming out later down the line as well.
Excited to see what that's going to be because, man, those games are great on their own.
Yeah.
Already. So that's going to be super exciting to see what they look like as a remake.
Very cool. We have Killer Inn is available for early access right now for PC. Mario Tennis Fever is out now for the Switch 2.
Okay.
Ride 6 is out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Tomb Raider, the iOS and Android game, is also out right now. We have Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties is out for everything, including PS4 and Switch 2 and PC. That's available all over the place. Clue, Murder by Death. I love that name. That's out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. We have High on Life 2 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Another one that was announced just today, and it's technically coming out tomorrow, but by the time you hear this, it'll be today. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition.
Oh.
So fans of the OG Rayman games, this one's for
Very
you.
cool.
That's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
Did think you said Rain Man at first and was a little confused.
No,
but
Rayman.
Rayman makes
Rayman.
way more sense.
My brother, what's the sitcom called?
Everybody Loves Ray?
Everybody Loves Raymond. There we go. Anyways, a new game that I am actually pretty excited about, but I feel like it's not the season for it, but I do want to play it. Reanimal. That new co-op horror game that kind of has Little Nightmares vibes, but
Yes.
even scarier.
Yes,
it
yes,
looks
yes.
like. Reanimal is out now for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. We also have Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. We have Astro Botanica in early access for PC. We have Caves of Quad? It's QUD. That's out for the Switch. This one might actually be coming soon, depending on when you are hearing it. And then we also have Aerial Knights Drop Shot for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One,
Wow.
and PC. That's coming out on
Wow.
February 17th. Avowed is getting its PlayStation 5 PS5 release on
I
February
forgot
17th
that was
as well.
a Xbox exclusive.
I believe
or PC
I'm
exclusive.
pretty sure Kirok played this game and really liked it.
Oh, nice.
So might be worth a look. Then also on the 17th we have Forgotlings for PC, Subnautica for the Switch 2, Subnautica Below Zero for Switch 2. We have Under the Island for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And then finally, just to round us out, because the list is so long. Oh, but I want to skip ahead to one that I actually kind of care about. All right, I'm going to skip ahead. Just in case you missed it from a more recent Nintendo partner direct, Paranorma Site: The Mermaid's Curse is getting so Paranormal Site was a game that came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, like a mystery adventure game kind of thing. The kind of game that I would like.
Of course,
I was really interested in it, never did pick it up, but I love to see that it's getting a sequel because now I feel more motivated to go back and play both of them. Anyways, that is coming out on the 19th for the Switch 2, and PC. And that's where I'm going to call it because the list is so long.
All right, well, before we jump into the main hater topic of the day, let's look really fast at some of the stuff that was announced at the State of Play today. So as we talked about already, Sons of Sparta announced. That's sweet that it's out now. How did I not see it right there on this first headline? John Wick game. Marathon's getting an open preview weekend starting February 26th. That's an upcoming new extraction looter-esque shooter, I think, from PlayStation.
And then just in case you missed it,
Bungie,
Marathon is actually, Bungie. In case you missed it, because I certainly did, I didn't realize Marathon was coming out on March 5th.
Oh, wow.
So as soon as this open beta ends, like the game's out.
That's cool.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
That's pretty cool too. Castlevania returns with another new game there. Kena Bridge of Spirits sequel,
Yes,
which
I can't
I'm
believe
excited
that.
to get to go watch this one.
Because this one was beautiful. I really want Jerrett to watch
Here
this
we go.
one.
Here we go.
Let's go watch it. Let's just go watch it.
Wait, really? We'll save this for the end. We'll save this.
Okay.
Let's go back to this. Hold on. Okay, what else is there? Ghost of Yotei Legends. That's exciting. New co-op DLC.
Yeah, a 4-player co-op DLC. It kind of looked like, they already had co-op DLC from the previous game.
Right.
But I couldn't help but look at it and be like, I think they saw Elden Ring Night Rain and they said, well, we want some of that.
We can do this better.
We can do that too. But it looks fun.
And then, let's see, couple new things. Legacy of Kain is back. Death Stranding 2 headed to PC.
I can't believe they're still remastering Legacy of Kain, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I really didn't realize that game had enough of a fan base.
Like a new one and then a remaster too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Loads of people on our Discord were blowing up over the Metal Gear Solid 4 escaping PS3 jail and is coming to PS5 this year.
Very
So
cool.
Metal Gear Solid 4, everybody was losing their shit over that.
That's cool. Got some new looks at a Beast of Reincarnation, August 2026 release date. We're looking at a Game Informer list recapping all this, by the way. And then Control Resonant. How did that look?
So Control Resonant looks really good. So I obviously am going to play it no matter what. I have to say I did have a little bit of reservations about the city environment because something that I really loved about the first Control game was the oldest house, the building that you're in where everything is changing all the time. I really liked that setting. So I was like, ooh, how am I going to feel about it when it's in like a more expansive, open, different universe, New York City? But they showed some stuff later in the game that was more in line with like the weird oldest house stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, all right, I feel better about that. And the powers that Dylan has are really interesting. It was very like, for lack of a better word, Inception. Because one of his abilities is that he can like take off from the ground from a little bit and then land on another surface and the world kind of shifts with him. So like you can go on walls and ceilings and stuff and just kind of go all over the place. So it looks really cool.
That's really cool. Let's see.
And like at the very end of it, they showed some of the enemies that you'll be finding, the resonance in question.
Yeah.
And it looked nice and creepy. I really liked
What
that.
were they called in the first game?
Hiss? Yeah, the Hiss.
Man, I might need to replay that before
Me
this comes
too.
out. Because I never did the DLC.
Now we're going to have to replay Control and Kena.
And then Alan Wake, because I still need to go those, and I know they're all connected now. So like, I gotta know. We can skip over these. Some of these aren't things we're super excited about, except Star Wars Galactic Racer. I'm so excited to go watch that too, because man, alive, the pod racing game from this N64 is a classic. I platinumed that actually on the PS5, and so getting another racer game with up-to-date technologies is going to be a hell of a good time.
I feel very slighted because this was one of the games that I was actually the most excited about. It doesn't even have like a hyperlink on the list that we're
I thought you were talking about Star Wars Galactic Racer, and I was like, what, really?
One of the, I guess, much lesser ones is Konami debuted this weird 2D puzzle platformer where you play as a little octopus, and it's called Darwin's Paradox.
Oh, that's cute.
It looked delightful.
That sounds fun.
I am totally on board with whatever Darwin's Paradox has going on, and I think this one is coming out really soon.
Ooh, nice.
So Darwin's Paradox is like high on my list for, oh my god, I have to play that. It looks phenomenal.
And the last one, just because I'm just confirming that I know that this is right, because I saw the chatter also in the Discord.
Crazy Chicken Man?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That?
You go ahead. Don't worry about that.
Well, now I'm curious. No, it's the Dead or Alive 6. Is that the volleyball? Okay. Yep, I thought so.
Yep.
So in the year of our Lord 2026, that's coming back.
Yep.
Alrighty, there we go.
Well, so there's two of them. There's Dead or Alive 6 Last Round. That's more of the fighting game.
Okay.
And then they did also announce Dead or Alive has a new franchise installment in early development for PS5. So I always kind of get it confused in my head because I've never really kept up with Dead or Alive. So I've always been not super clear on what's considered a mainline game and what's not. Like, are the fighting games not the mainline series?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Dead or Alive fans, sound off because I don't get it. And also I will not be playing it, but
Yeah, no, I'm not either. It's just kind of too, I was kind of like, oh, wow. Because like, how long has it been since this had an installment?
time. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly.
Super long time.
But anyways,
Anyway.
and then
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
What
no.
were you gonna
We can go ahead. Go. Let's skip
Okay,
to Kana.
Kana?
The thing
Kana?
that
All right,
matters.
all right. Here we go.
Actually, one thing I
okay.
do just want to mention, the new Castlevania game.
Yes.
Because I feel like this is actually really important. Konami actually had a pretty long spot at the State of Play where they were basically doing what people have been begging them to do for the longest time, which is please let other studios develop your games. You have all of these cool IPs, but all you guys want to make anymore are slot machines.
Yeah.
Please release your games to other people. So they've done that, and that new Castlevania game is a mainline game for starters, and it's a brand new one.
Ooh, nice.
Featuring the return of Trevor Belmont. It looked sick.
That's fun.
It
I'll
looked
probably
really
give that a
good.
try too, because like I love the Castlevania
Yeah.
show. I haven't played much of the old games,
It
but
looked
like the
really
show
good.
was great.
Like the way that they had updated the styling, it looked really sleek. Still the traditional 2D platformer, but like with a lot more obviously dimension to it
Yeah.
than you got in the old games. So new Castlevania looks sick. I'm excited about that.
That's really cool. Man, I'm excited to watch this Canon trailer because
Kana?
I legitimately, it might have been either earlier today or yesterday. I thought to myself, man, I might kind of want to replay Kana. And then look at this. Here it is.
I feel like we feel that way when it becomes springtime. Because
Yeah.
Kana is a spring game.
It is a spring game. Okay, I'm going to make this full screen here.
Yeah, full screen.
Here we go. Here we go.
I sense suffering here, Spirit. Do you need help?
I was about to say, turn that quality up.
Yeah.
A spirit guide?
It looks so much better than the like
so good.
the first one looked so good.
Kind in Cosmora.
It looks
Glad
incredible.
you're here.
Oh my god.
You get a little friend.
It's so cute.
That temple has been sealed as long as I can
Baby
remember.
fox wants picky uppies.
Dangerous corruption was locked inside, along with the secrets of a forgotten practice. Spirit guides here once used alchemy to cleanse corruption. Maybe you can do the same.
Get to ride the
You
fox.
get to
Oh my
ride the
God.
fox. Yeah.
Day one purchase.
I know, right? Like immediate day one
immediately.
purchase.
Collector's edition purchase, probably.
Fear will bind you, gripping to the present, which must always pass.
God, it just looks so
it,
good.
It looks
Regret
amazing.
will bind you, longing for the past you cannot change.
Yeah.
Love will bind you, yearning for a future you will not see.
Like all the creature designs
Yeah,
look
they look
amazing.
incredible. Lots of big bosses in this one.
Yeah.
Unbound,
Sold.
may
Like-
you depart in peace.
Oh, a new rot.
I know, right? Kana Scars
Oh
of
my
Cosmora
God.
coming out this year.
This year?
2026.
Okay, the year is looking up.
I know, right? Like finally we're getting
Oh
some good
my
games.
God. That looks incredible.
It looks amazing.
That is going to be so good.
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. Wow.
Day
Okay.
one purchase for sure.
That's exciting.
Got
That's
some
exciting.
good stuff coming out.
Okay, well, we gushed over the good stuff. We gushed over the stuff we love. Can we hear about a video game now that
That we did not.
we did not love? Or more specifically, you did not
We're-
love?
we're-
I haven't played this. The Wii is very generous. in
And
this
honestly,
instance.
you might want to distance yourself from me for this one.
All right, I'm going to scoot way
No,
back.
mostly. I mean, like socially distance yourself
Oh,
from
okay.
me because I feel like so we're talking about Digimon Story Time Stranger, and I played this game back in. I mean, really, I played it in December and primarily in January, like after the holidays, because I bought it on Black Friday sale. I went into the game with like full-hearted, like an open heart. I really wanted to like it because I heard so many good things about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody that I talked to that was playing it, they loved it. I've never played any of the Digimon Story games, but I've heard that they're really fun. I think the previous one before this was Cyber Sleuth or something like that. So it's like an ongoing series, but to be clear, Storytime Stranger is a standalone, so you don't have to have played any of the previous ones to play it. I had such high hopes. That's not really true. I won't say I had such high hopes. I had a blank slate. So things could only go up, really.
Right.
At least that's what I thought. They did not go up. They did, in fact, go slightly up, and then they went precipitously down. So, unfortunately, this is going to be a kind of brief first and last impressions because I put about, I want to say anywhere between 6 to 10 hours into the game, which I admit is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. This is one of those games that people put 70 plus.
But I mean, that's a
100
that's
plus
a lot in the grand scheme of life.
That's a lot in the grand scheme of life. And I figured if I'm not liking it 6 to 10 hours in, I don't think I'm ever going to like this
Yeah.
game. And it went back to GameStop where I traded it in for store credit towards a different game. So that's the baseline. If you are a diehard Digimon Storytime Stranger fan, I'm sorry. I don't like the game. And we'll talk about why.
And that's the first impressions, everyone.
That's the first impressions. Didn't like it. Sold it back to GameStop. So let's talk about why. So Digimon Storytime Stranger is what I like for all intents and purposes. It is a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Digimon at all?
I mean, no. I mean, I remembered seeing the commercials for the show as a kid and stuff like that.
Good
but
show.
We didn't watch that or Pokemon, so I have no experience.
That's
exposure.
fine. It is similar but very distinct.
Digimon, digital monsters.
Digimon are the champions. Yeah, the show was awesome. I love Digimon. Like, I really do. I love Digimon.
Which is weird because
But
I feel like that's the first time I've ever heard you talk about
Well,
Digimon
I don't
in
like
our
love
10
it
years
that
of friendship.
well. Okay, I like Digimon. You know what? That's fair. I like Digimon. Okay, I probably shouldn't
You
say
know
I
what?
love it.
I understand
I
now
like-
why I didn't like this game. It just,
Maybe
at my core, I don't like it.
I just don't like it. So, anyways, where was I going with that? Digimon, Digital Monsters. Now, all I can think about is the
Song.
show. So the game, it is similar to Pokemon, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Digimon, in that it is a monster collecting game. That is where the resemblance ends. Like, it is so different than Pokemon. It's really not even, like, especially in terms of gameplay, this game versus Pokemon games, they are in completely separate arenas. They are not even remotely close to the same type of game, I would say. So if you're a Pokemon fan and you're like, oh, maybe I'll like Digimon, you might. You also might not. You might decide you really don't like
You
it,
might
actually.
just fucking hate it.
So the premise of Digimon Storytime Stranger is that, you know what, I should go, let's back up. What are Digimon?
digital monsters, and they're
digital
the
monsters,
champions.
That's correct. So basically, the whole premise of Digimon is that there is the human world, and then there is this parallel digital world, and they intersect more often than you would think, with Digimon being able to occasionally cross over into the human world, and the reverse, humans being able to cross into the digital world.
Okay.
So that's the premise of Digimon Storytime Stranger at its lowest level. The game starts, and you are given the choice of creating your own character with basically zero customization. The options are boy or girl. Which one are you going to be? And I'll tell you right up front, the decision matters not even slightly. None. I think some of the decisions that the game gives you actually do matter. It never felt like it. So if those dialogue options I was picking were actually leading to something, it never felt like it. And we'll talk about that later. But you pick your character.
So real quick, though, just so I can have visual pictures.
Yes.
First person, side scroller, third person,
Third person.
Third person open world kind of thing?
Third person open world.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, I really hesitate.
Open-ish, like
I
just
really
like-
hesitate to say open world
Okay, so
because
not
we'll talk
just
about
like from that perspective.
Yes, so third person, over the shoulder perspective. It is nice that you can see the Digimon out and about in the world. So when you're walking around, it's either the human world and you're in somewhere that Digimon have managed to break into, or if you're in the digital world, they're just sort of out and about. And I kind of like that because that means that you can choose to engage with them or not. So like if you see a new Digimon that you haven't encountered yet, you might run over to them really quick and want to battle them because you want to add them to your Digidex or whatever the hell they call it. I forget what they call it. I'm going to say Digidex because it just makes the most sense to me. Alternatively, if you've already got a bunch of information on the Digimon that you can see in the distance and you really don't want to fight them, you can kind of just dodge them. You can kind of just go around. Depending on how strong your Digimon in your party are, you might actually be able to just take them out really quick if they're a low-level creature and you don't actually have to engage in a real fight. So it's not like random encounters like you might be familiar with in the older Pokemon games. It's more like there's an open field to a certain extent, and you have a certain amount of say in what you engage with and what you don't. Of course, there are boss battles and stuff that are unavoidable, but that's the lay of the land. So you start out as boy or girl character. You make your own name, so your character doesn't really have their own name or personality at all. They are a blank, empty, silent slate. They have no personality beyond your very odd dialogue options that you sometimes get during conversations. You are picking your agent. So the person that you are choosing is an agent of some sort of secretive organization that knows about Digimon and does work with basically keeping the realms separate, I kind of gather. I could be super wrong about that because I only got 6 to 10 hours into the game and decided this is not for me. So do forgive me. If the story details are super wrong, I'll never know. I'll just never know.
And I won't read your comments. Tell me different.
I won't read your comments because I don't care. But the premise of the game is that you are an agent and you have been called to you've been called by your organization to investigate like a presence, like a digital presence that shouldn't be somewhere that it's supposed to be, and you have to go figure out what's going on there. So you travel throughout the tutorial session, which is like just getting to know Tokyo. It does take place in they call it Tokyo because you go to the Tokyo government building as like one of your mainline tutorial quests. Anyway, so you're going around Tokyo City. You're sort of learning the lay of the land of how to interact with other NPCs, how to interact with Digimon, like I said, where you encounter them out in the field. You have a gun. Like a Digimon
I didn't think it was that kind
gun.
of a... Oh, okay.
It's very silly. It's like, okay, whatever. This is weird.
Is that how you catch them, or is that how you
It's how you engage with them.
Okay.
So you kind of should shoot them, I guess. You also can choose to send out the Digimon that you already have in your party, and they do a little attack on other wild Digimon themselves.
Okay, I think that's what I meant. Like a command.
Yes,
like
it's
a command
like a command.
Thing. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's
like a laser
more.
pointer.
Yes, it's a laser pointer.
Okay.
That's such a better way to phrase it. But it's shaped like a gun.
Okay.
So it's hilarious. So you choose your agent, you do the tutorial, and you wind up, I believe, underground to start with, because you've been clued in by some dude in a park because there was like a kerfuffle with the other secret police or whatever, and they're like, the dude's like, my daughter, and you're there, but nobody's helping him. So then you follow him and you help him break into the sewers, I guess, and you go down there, and there's his daughter and her friend, and they were just filming silly TikToks or whatever about the weird creatures down in the sewers,
Yeah.
the Digimon, of course. And you,
So
of course,
misunderstood.
one thing leads to another. You have to go further into the sewers to pursue this dude's daughter, Inori. Misono, I think her name is. She's very cute. Her friend is very cute. A lot of the character designs, I will say, are really nice. Not your agent. Your
Okay, I gotta see what you look like.
you just look so stupid. You get like a starter outfit, and at least for the female character, I was like, God, I don't feel cool at all. I feel so lame. This outfit sucks ass.
This?
Yes.
Okay.
So like, go to it's so hard
It's like-
to describe.
Does the whole game look so washed out?
Yes. Oh my God. I'll talk about that because I have
Oh my
complaints. Okay. So Digimon is a really, all right. I gotta try to not get sidetracked. All right. So anyways, the point is you go into the sewers, you wind up finding Inori. She's your friend. She becomes your friend, I should say. You follow her through, like, I think eventually you sort of come out at the Tokyo government building where there's a huge protest because something happened a while back, and it seems like there's some sort of government cover-up because, like, the government has totally blocked off all this area around the government building. Everybody wants to know what's going on in there. Like, is it, aliens, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So you sort of sneak in. You go through the government building. You find all kinds of weird shit along the way, mainly other Digimon. And then you sort of get to like a critical point in the intro where a gigantic Digimon ? Are we even sure it is a Digimon? Like a think of a mech, like a
Okay.
Gundam-sized mech suit, but creepy, like Digimon creepy. It was actually a really cool design. Just sort of like comes up out of the floor of like the ground of the Tokyo government building and ascends into the sky and explodes everything, and Tokyo is gone. It's gone. Everybody's dead. It's fantastic. Actually, the cutscene is really cool.
Oh God.
And I
Mass murder. Wonderful.
Everybody's dead. I don't remember exactly how it happens, but your character, whichever agent you chose, and I think the Digimon that you're immediately with, you, through one means or another, you get teleported to the digital world at the same time as this world-ending explosion happens in the human world.
Got it.
So your agent comes to, you're in the digital world, there are Digimon, they're like interrogating you because they're like, whoa, what are you doing here? What is it? What are you? What's going on here? We're suspicious about this. So there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. You can't really figure out what's happening. And then I think you managed to get back to the human world somehow. Sorry, I'm probably getting the timeline really confused because it is a game about time travel. So through one means or another, I forget exactly where it happened in the timeline, your agent wakes up at, I think, Inori's house or something, and you realize through finally getting back in contact with your other agents via your communicator that, like, something has gone wrong, and you're pretty sure that you are no longer in the same timeline as the other agent, because the other agent that you talk to is like, oh yeah, Tokyo's like gone, man. It's all, the city's destroyed. So like an apocalypse did happen, but through some means or another, you wound up back in time.
Yeah.
So it's all this like weird time travel stuff, and it seemed like it might be an interesting story. I will never know. I will just never know whether or not it actually does wind up being interesting for a variety of reasons
Let's
that we
hear
will
'em.
now start to break down. Okay, so this is a complaint that I have had with multiple games recently. Digimon Story Time Stranger is not the only one that is guilty of this, but it makes me furious. So you are picking male or female character. Empty, silent vessel, like I said, which is such a strange choice, I feel, in a game that is heavily reliant on its story.
Right.
Because when you as player character, are interacting with all of the other NPCs who are fully voice acted, like the Digimon talk in human voices, all of the other human characters have fully voiced lines, like they clearly put a ton of work into it that I really appreciate, except for protagonist. And it's like,
That's weird.
why?
Well, and games
why
do
would
the
you give me a
silent-
blank protagonist when it means that all of these emotional and important scenes feel like they're falling totally flat? So I was just like immediately disconnected from my protagonist from the get-go, because like I said, when you're in dialogue with other characters, and I say dialogue loosely because you're not talking, they will occasionally say things to you that require a response.
Yeah.
You usually have 3 to 4 replies of varying seriousness or silliness. And no matter what I chose, it always felt like the NPC replied with whatever their original response was going to be. Like they'd say something, and then you would do like a sort of off-the-wall quippy comeback, and then they would just proceed with the conversation as
And
if
have
they
no
had not
rec-
heard you. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
So it felt so weird and
So
bad
it's
from
like
the
they had
get-go.
the choice of like, our budget allows us to either have male, female characters, or we can do that, or we can have a single character and it can be voiced. And they decided to just go with that.
Yeah, it was really weird. I hated it from the very start because, I mean, really, it was about that emotional connection. Digimon as a series, and this is true of Digimon Story Time Stranger as well, it is a pretty serious, it's a serious affair.
Yeah.
People die. Like, unlike in Pokemon where nobody ever really dies, people in Digimon for sure die.
Oh, shit.
So,
Okay.
like, people die. There's, like, divorce. There's difficult, like, parenting and child stuff. There's all kinds of heavy topics that Digimon likes to try to deal with. And if you have a personality-less, silent protagonist, you never feel like you are part of you. I never felt like I was actually part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Tokyo got destroyed. I guess
No one cares.
I guess I'm pretty unaffected by that. My
Oh,
character
weird.
doesn't seem to react at all. Like your character has there's no way for you to have any emotional depth to a character that does not have a personality. So it's just like, I don't understand that choice.
Which is weird
Why
because
not commit to a character?
yeah, and because even the voiceless protagonist has been done in video games before and done incredibly well.
Link has a personality. Link absolutely has a personality.
Link's a great choice. The one that immediately came to my head, I mean, he does talk a few times as Master Chief, but still, like, for the most part, silent protagonist.
Yeah.
And he's awesome.
Yeah, and he's awesome.
And the story is just as emotional and full of those emotional, like, key points that you need. That's interesting that they were able to just do it so flat.
Yes, and this is a problem that is compounded by my second and perhaps honestly primary complaint, which is this is a game that loves to give you, like, imagine you're holding the PlayStation controller, right? Okay, you have just been given your next objective.
Yes.
You maneuver your character in the world for approximately 15 to 20 seconds.
Oh, no.
And you immediately hit another cutscene. And then you have to sit through the cutscene, and then you get another 10 to 20 seconds of walking from one place to another, and then you get another cutscene.
Is it just
and
like
then
you
do another
interacting with
tiny,
people?
It
or-
is. At least that early part of the game, it was so stop, start, stop, start,
my
stop,
God.
start, stop, start. And that wasn't the only problem, because every time you transition to a new area and the areas are not as open world as you would like, there are actually a lot of breaks in the world from one area to the next. There are loading screens everywhere.
Oh, my God.
And they're not as fast as you would like.
Oh, no.
So it's like, all right.
And did you play this on PS5 or Switch?
PS5.
Oh,
This was
okay.
on PS5. So you'd play for about, seriously, it felt like 10 to 15 seconds every time. You'd walk to another area, loading screen, cutscene, long cutscene, longer than you'd like.
With flat,
dialogue
unemotive-
that doesn't feel like it matters at all. You're weighing in with dialogue choices that feel like they don't matter at all. Maybe they do. Maybe those dialogue choices mattered. It certainly didn't feel like it. And then you walk for another 10 to 15 seconds, and then it's a cutscene.
Oh my
and then there's
God.
a loading screen, and then you have to walk for another 10 to 15 seconds, and then there's another cutscene. I was furious.
And you lasted this for 6 to 10 hours?
I can't believe I stuck with it for
I
that
would have made it
long.
10 seconds.
I was like, this is Sam's nightmare game. I can't imagine a game that Sam would like less. Now, once you got into the sections of the game where you were actually pursuing and interacting with Digimon,
Yeah.
it was a little less bad because at least then you were getting into combat. But oh my God, those sections felt so few and far between compared to the deluge of cutscenes and loading screens.
Honestly, when you first started saying it, I thought it was going to be the thing where you just couldn't go more than 10, 15 seconds without having like some kind of like a fight or like a something like a Digimon battle or something like that. Because that's what kind of annoyed me with
games of this type. Because a lot of games are like, oh yeah, Octopath is like that.
I feel like it was Octopath when I played the demos of those, that it was just like, all right, I'm going to go to this place now, attack.
Yes.
And it was just like, oh God. And then you did that fight and then you're like, cool, I can go 2 steps forward. You've been ambushed. And it's like, dear God, what?
See, that's actually a little bit different for Digimon because like I said, you can see the other Digimon out in the world. So you do have more control over the cadence at which you are encountering randomized battles with other Digimon. I mean, obviously you want to engage in those, you know, that's sort of the point of the game, but you do have more choice about when and where you actually tackle certain Digimon. They can surprise you though. So like if you don't see a Digimon and they see you, they can ambush you and then you're at a little bit of a disadvantage for the start of that combat.
Yeah.
So I guess the next logical step is for us to talk about the combat because this is where the game like almost had me, but like just didn't stick.
Yeah.
Because what I had heard about Digimon Storytime Stranger was that the combat was really, really fun. Because I love a good JRPG. I've never met a menu I didn't like. I love a good menu. I like a good stat screen. I thought I was wrong. As it turns out, there are limits to the amount of stats that I can really withstand. So it was really strange for me because typically I tend to really like turn-based combat that relies on things like elemental strengths and resistances.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, this enemy is weak to such and such, but they're resistant to blank. So you have to really plan out which Digimon you're going to bring into battle with them, because if you have the wrong loadout, you're going to wind up screwed. And actually the way that turn-based combat in Digimon works is you sort of have a front line and a reserve line. So like you can have, I think, 3 Digimon in your party at a time, and then I think you can have another back line of 3. So if you have somebody in your front line and you realize early on that they are not going to be good in this fight, you can swap them out with anybody else in your party that is alive.
Yeah.
Like your Digimon can get knocked out, they can get KO'd, but if they're alive, you can swap them out at will during battle, which I like.
That's
I
fun.
like that. That gives you a lot of flexibility. That being said, I found the combat system somehow both too simple and far too complex for my liking. Because that really like surface level experience of, okay, weak to fire, weak to ice, resistant to lightning. Like that was almost too simplistic because it just sort of boiled down to, okay, if you figure out that something is weak to fire, you're going to swap out all of your Digimon to all have fire attacks so that you can just go through that combat really, really quickly. The same thing goes for like resistances and what your own characters are weak to. Obviously, if you're getting crushed by a boss because you're really like weak to whatever they've got going on, you learn pretty quickly that you need to swap out your team or do your evolutions differently, because Digimon, it's all about evolving them, right? It's very, very different from Pokemon in that there is a ton of different routes that any Digimon can take, either with their evolution or their de-evolution. Not only can you evolve them, you can de-evolve them.
I'm learning so much today.
And there are all different kinds of like branches they can take. The same type of like base level Digimon can wind up becoming a bunch of different things. And it just depends on sort of how you want to kit them out, right? They all have like different abilities, different things that they do, like dark attacks, healing stuff, defensive things, buffs, nerfs, that kind of stuff. So it's a really like in-depth kit. And then on top of that, there were all of these like background things that I felt like, ooh, I think I'm never really going to understand this. And I feel like later in the game, it's really going to come back to bite my ass. And that was like the traits system. Because every Digimon, in addition to having its base level stats of like attack, defense, its elemental, strengths and resistances, etc., they all have like different traits. And apparently those really matter.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I can kind of already tell that I'm not really going to engage with this particular system very well. And I can see that it's going to mess with me. And like your relationship to your Digimon also matters.
Oh.
And they'll like talk to you and stuff. So like when you're out and about in the world and you're walking around with them, they might have something to say. And then depending on how you respond, their traits might change.
Oh.
And it's like, ooh, I feel like I don't understand what's happening here and I don't like it.
Interesting.
Now, I'm sure that when you get more in-depth into it and once you get the hang of it, it probably is a rewarding system, but it both felt overwhelming and too, frankly, boring.
Yeah.
The combats that I got into, even some of the boss battles, which were at least a little bit more interesting, I was honestly kind of bored with the combat. I think that really is just a me problem because everybody else that I've talked to likes it a lot. It just was not landing for me, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate whenever that happens because it still sucks whenever like you are excited to try something out, you spend the time trying something new, and you're just like, oh man, just not clicking, not here for it.
Not clicking. And my next note that I wrote to myself, this is just one sentence. It says, honestly, ugly. Now, this is specifically, like I said, I actually really like a lot of the NPC character designs. I love the Digimon designs. I think they're really crazy and cool. The environments, so ugly. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, just those two screenshots I saw.
That's what the whole thing looked like.
Oh, God.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was gaslighting myself into being like, maybe I was just doing it so wrong that I should like go see what other people are doing in this game later on.
Yeah.
So I found somebody that was streaming Digimon Storytime Stranger, and they were way, way, way further in the game. And I, in good faith, I sat there and I watched them stream for maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh.
And I was like, I can't waste one more second of my life on this game. Because even though they were so much further in the game than me, it was the same thing. It was walk 5 steps, cutscene, loading screen. Walk 5 more steps, cutscene, loading screen.
No, thank you.
It was the same thing.
No, thank
and they
you.
were like, they were on like New Game Plus, and I was like, no.
They're committed.
I'm not doing this. This is what I gathered is that I really didn't think that what the game would eventually become actually would have changed my opinion of it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be missing out on the game of the year 2025 and I don't realize it. I'll never know because the environments were butt ugly.
Yeah.
Like what you said with it feeling really desaturated.
Yeah.
Man, I don't
Like
know if it
blown
was
out, just like nothing, no detail to it.
Yeah, it felt like it had like so when you're walking around in Tokyo and it was daytime, like if you're walking around in Tokyo and it's daytime, it actually feels like a really pretty good environment. You know, the city looks really nicely built out. If you're in daylight, it looks good. But as soon as you got inside any building, underground or like anywhere that was near the Tokyo government building, it was all just like gray corporate concrete landscapes.
Ew.
And it was so boring. Like when you're going through the Tokyo government building in this like intense battle where this thing is coming out of the ground and you have to like race to the top to try and stop it from destroying Tokyo. It's like, yeah, but it's so ugly.
And it's not like cool gray drab stuff like
so
you control.
Ugly. No. It was just
boring.
ugly. It was just, per my notes, honestly, ugly. The environments in particular just felt super gray and lifeless, and they were not grabbing me. Maybe that was different later in the game when you get to the digital world, and maybe it was more cool. Don't know. Never will know. And the combat, like I said, was just not for me. I will try to do a few pros here at the very end. Obviously, my personal TLDR is that this game is just not for me. I did not like the little bit that I played of it, and I frankly never want to play it again.
Never shall it touch my PS5 hard drive again.
I don't want to see a stream of it. I deleted it from the PS5 immediately. I returned it to the store. This game was just not for me. But if you're into it, if you are a Digimon Story fan, if you're a Digimon fan, some of the pros that I've heard other people say that they are really jazzed about, this is the Digimon game with the biggest lineup of Digimon of any other game in the series. There's 450 Digimon to go through. That feels like a shitload.
That does.
I wish I had known this beforehand. There's a free demo. You can find out yourself whether or not you like it or not. So, God, I wish I had played that demo. I feel like it would have solved a lot of my problems for me. Whoops. Whoopsies.
Whoops-a-doodles.
I do like that Digimon tackles those heavier topics like death, scientific ethics. Actually, what little bit of that stream that I saw later on, it dealt more with like the ethics of Digimon and stuff. And I was like, okay, thematically that feels interesting. But I didn't want to sit through the cutscenes to find out whether or not that was an interesting conversation to have. So, but some people might really like that. The combat, I think, could be fun for the right person. It was not the right fit for me, but I think from like a monster collecting and evolutionary perspective, it seemed like there was a lot there. And it's not sterilized on story. I like that it has a richer story going on in the background that I will never know. And again, it is a standalone title. So if you haven't played the previous games, but you're interested in this one, you can just dive right in. You don't have to have played any of the previous ones, and you do not have to have watched any of the various Digimon anime series that are out there. You can just go in blind and perhaps have an extremely subpar experience. But maybe it'll be good. Who knows? That's up to you, buddy. My experience was bad. So unfortunately, that is my rapid fire first and last impressions of Digimon Story Time Stranger.
There you have
My
it.
bad. I just didn't like it.
Okay, but the big question is, which is worse, this or Rage 2? Oh, wow. I'm kind of surprised you had to think this long.
Rage 2.
Okay, I was about to say.
Rage 2 is like obviously worse, but boy howdy, if you like...
If you really thought about it, they're not too dissimilar.
Here's the thing. If I were forced to finish one, I think Rage 2 would be shorter.
Oh.
And honestly,
obviously the quicker way out. Okay.
I could probably get out of it faster. Digimon Story Time Stranger, you'd have to go through so many cutscenes.
Oh my God.
So many hours of cutscenes. I can't believe how
That's
many
wild.
there were. It was insane.
Did Kojima get a hold of the game or something? I mean, at least,
yeah.
well, then they would have been like an hour and a half long each one. But
Oh man, yeah, it was not for me. Honestly, I even would have tolerated it a little bit better if the cutscenes had been more like that, in that they were continuous as
And not
opposed
so
to the
chopped up.
stop-start.
Yeah.
Because then I could put it on autoplay, drink my tea, my little beverage while I watch the cutscene, and then play the game, instead of the just start, stop,
that's rough.
loading screen. It's just, it just was not for me.
Oof.
So sorry if that's your favorite game.
Somebody's like Game of the Year 2026
Maybe,
already.
You know, if I'm super wrong, and
I
I
guess it was last
definitely
year.
might be, sound off in the comments. Let me know how wrong I am. Try to sell other people on your favorite game. Unfortunately, I cannot help you in that battle.
Oh man, you were talking about this, and like we said, unfortunate that that the game doesn't hit. But really quick, that did remind me of a recent experience of a game that I had that also did not hit. I posted actually in our Rogues Gallery on Discord and everything about it, and it's the RoboCop Rogue City game.
Oh, I forgot that you tried that game.
It was the PS Plus game for like a couple months ago, or longer by now. But it was like 2023 is when the game actually came out, and it was after I finished Ghost of Yotei, kind of in that like, what am I gonna play next thing, trying to figure that out. And I was like, you know what, cool. I saw this, a fun, silly, quick shooter game sounds fun after the longer, more intense game of Yotei. Sure, give it a shot. I dropped that shit after the first level.
Oh, damn. Didn't even make it one level? Yikes.
Because, I mean, if you're a fan of RoboCop, like I've seen the original movie and stuff like that, but it is cool because Peter Weller does come back to play RoboCop in it.
That's cool.
That's cool. It's set between RoboCop 2 and 3. It has, characters from the franchise in it and everything like that. But it was, and I know it's kind of like that corny. It was like they were trying to replicate that, like that campiness of the original and everything like that in this, but it just felt so just like over the top fake in that way. Like how like some of the lines in the cutscenes and everything like that, I was just like, what? Is this a comedy? Is this trying to be a comedy or like?
Oh, it almost felt like parody.
Yeah, It was very odd. But honestly, the thing about it, similar to the starting and stopping of the cutscenes that you were talking about, in the cutscenes, every time there would be like a scene or shot change for like a half second, a second, you would see it's like the character model hadn't loaded in.
Ooh.
And there would be like a pixely flash, and then the character would be there.
Ooh.
Every
The pop-ins.
time
Yikes.
there was a change of shot in the cutscenes.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's rough.
Yikes.
Then I got to the actual gameplay.
Was it bad?
You know how those old arcade shooters are the ones that it's basically like you stand in one place, shoot a whole bunch of people, and then the game makes you like move and turn your camera angle?
Yes.
That's what the game felt like.
Ooh.
Because you play as RoboCop, who famously can't fucking move fast.
Yeah.
So you literally are just like walking forward, shooting your gun as guys just like pop out from behind columns and stuff like that. You have to sometimes take cover
That is
behind
so old school arcade.
behind columns to avoid their fire and stuff like that. So you can let yourself like heal up and you pick up med packs and all that stuff. You know, standard, you know, older first person shooter stuff, which doesn't necessarily go out of style. Like that's still a fine, you know, formula for a first person
You go
shooter.
to any Dave and Buster's, you're going to have a blast at,
Exactly.
that station.
But it just felt, you even had a quote unquote sprint where he just like moved slightly faster, but it really was just like, there is nothing to this game other than literally walking down this hallway and just going pew pew, pew pew, pew pew. And I was even playing on hard to give myself a challenge.
Oh no.
And it was still that way. But I was like, I was literally just playing it. And I said out loud, this is the most on rails video game I have literally ever played. And I dropped that after the first mission. And then that's what I put when I posted into the Rogues Gallery. I was like, I tried it. And I'm done with it already.
Well, I'm done.
It is not for me.
Well,
So-
at least you didn't spend money on it. Wait, actually,
Well, I mean, technically I kind of did. It's PS Plus.
you want to hear
So-
something hilarious? So I bought Digimon Storytime Stranger on Black Friday sale.
Oh.
When I traded it back into
no.
GameStop. No, yeah, this is actually good.
Oh, okay.
When I traded it back into GameStop, because I was putting it towards a different game purchase, I technically made money on it.
Oh, okay. Wow. How does that
made
happen?
like $7.
How does it? Wow.
Because I bought
Impressive.
it. Because I bought it for $30. They gave me $37 in credit, so I made money on that game. So it's not all bad news, guys.
There we go. There we go. Well, that's how you trick GameStop
Oh,
into
boy.
paying you.
Right. Anyways, so we got
Wild.
two duds to
duds.
kick off 2026, even
And
though
if you
neither
want
of
to
them are
fight
from
us
this
on our
year.
opinions, let us know in the comments.
I dare you to fight Jerrett about that RoboCop game. It sounds terrible.
Like, it was rough. Like
The Digimon one, that's
if
probably
anybody else has
valid.
downloaded it, tried it because you're RoboCop. I mean, and I had seen RoboCop for the first time like not too long ago. So that's kind of honestly what drew me to it too.
Oh, you were
And I was like, oh,
intrigued.
let's try it out. Oh my God. Just rough. Just a bad time.
Yeah. Well, they can't all be winners,
They
right?
can't all be winners. That's the lesson of today. So with that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people out there of the world,
Digimon and humans.
digital monsters, champions, we leave you with this episode of Team Chat Podcast. Until next time, I am one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
Bye. Sorry.
We will see you all next time.